All right, hey guys, Cody here. It's been a while since I did a video, so let's get to it. I'll go ahead and read the questions beforehand so you can fast forward if you're not interested in those from the beginning. So some of the challenges when living overseas: what type of CI work, counterintelligence work, does DS do? I'm not going to say too much about that. I'll say what I know and what I can say. Tips for protection details and tips for the interview, the DS Bex interview. So let's go with challenges living overseas. If you have not yet watched any of my other videos, I recommend you go back. But as a DS special agent, you will have to live overseas. How much these days do you actually do that? It's pretty competitive to get overseas, but it is required. Some people go out, spend maybe 6 years in the States, go out for a year, come back, spend another 6 years. Some people do 1, 2, or 3 tours, which could be two or 3 years apiece. That's a little more complicated, or it was back then, because it was competitive to get overseas. A lot of people join this job to be overseas. But bottom line is, you will have to work in a foreign country, and there are challenges. One of the first challenges I can think of is language barrier. A lot of these posts, there is language training at the Foreign Service Institute in Arlington, Virginia. You can, when you bid on the assignment, it'll let you know that there is the language training associated with it. When I went to Vietnam, for example, I didn't have language training. I didn't have to go to language training. And a lot of that, sometimes that's good. You might not want to go sit in FSI and you say, hey, I'll figure it out when I get there. I was like that. I didn't care to go sit at FSI. I got to post, and I actually got free language training when I was there, and I learned, I kind of immersed myself, and it was really good. But language barrier is one of the challenges. Everyday tasks seem to be difficult. If you're in England or in Germany, probably not. If you're in Monrovia, Liberia, going out to get groceries, it might be a little more complicated. Same thing with Vietnam. I had an internet issue one time, and I lived in this complex with Westerners, but it was still hard just to get them to fix my internet. So language barrier obviously attributes to that, but basic tasks sometimes are complicated. Now, with that said, in some of these countries, you won't be paying rent or anything like that. You'll be saving money, and so oftentimes people will pay for help. So whether that's someone to watch your kid, or someone to clean your house, someone to bring your laundry, or do your laundry, or do your grocery shopping. A lot of that is affordable in some of these countries, particularly some of these third world countries. And, so that can help, mitigate some of the, I guess, it being a little too difficult. Where am I? Transport. Depending on where you are, you may or may not be able to ship certain types of vehicles. You may choose to buy a vehicle in country. It may be very expensive. You may do what I did and just do what they do locally. I bought a motorbike, not a motorcycle, a motorbike, when I was in Vietnam. And I was a big bearded dude riding around on a small motorbike. It was kind of fun. It didn't blend in very well, but I thought it was a good time. I know a guy that lived in Cambodia. I think he had his vehicle there, but on his way to work, he liked to ride in the tuk-tuks. So it was like a mile ride a tuk-tuk every day. He had a tuk-tuk driver, took him to work, which I think was pretty cool. But transport can be complicated. And then driving, once you're there, driving in some of this traffic is pretty difficult. Driving on the opposite side of the road can be complicated on occasion. So there's a number of factors involved with transport. Illnesses. I mentioned this in another video, but you're going to go to some of these countries where you're going to get sick. I mean, most people do get sick at least once or twice, whether it's some type of gastrointestinal issue where you have stomach pains or issues, or you get some type of other respiratory illness. It happens. Depending on where you are, the medical capabilities of that country may be limited. So getting good medical care for some of your basic issues that you might run over to Rite Aid for, or something, to get some medicine, it's not going to be as easy. Now, that said, they have a thing called consumables, and you can pack and send some consumables. I mean, some stuff from the US you can send over in your pouch. I think it's pouch. You just get it overseas to you, so you can stock up, for example, on your favorite freaking shampoo, or your favorite toothpaste, or Benadryl, or Pepto-Bismol, or something like that, and you can send that to post in advance. So, help you kind of minimize, or get you feeling better from some of these small issues. Medical care, I just mentioned it, but it's like serious medical care. A lot of times, if you or a family member gets really ill, they'll have to be transported out of the country, and that's, the department helps you, but it's cumbersome, for that to happen. And who doesn't want, who wants to split the family up whenever someone gets ill? It's not really something that you look forward to. But those are some of the things off the top of my head that I could think of. Or, I went there, I was single, so I really had to only worry about myself. But there are people with families that go out there and they thrive. But, the complexities are there. Sometimes if you laugh them off, and you will have to at sometimes, then, you'll be fine. But living overseas is fun, but it does have its challenges. What type of CI work is there in DS? So DS has a counterintelligence unit, counterintelligence office. They primarily do investigations and some analysis. That's really it. That's all I'll say. That they do. I mean, they do have a liaison, with different 3-letter agencies. I don't know if they fall under the CI unit or not, but I'll say that those that did go to the CI unit, our CI office, did enjoy it. At least people that I know enjoyed it. So, it's an opportunity when you get into DS usually after your first assignment, you'll be able to bid on that office. And, once you're in, you'll be able to ping people and kind of learn a little more about it. But I think it's pretty cool. It's not, it's not CIA work, but it's still pretty cool. So something to check out. Tips for protection details. I think this was a guy that was probably in FLETC that wrote it. I know he passed the panel. I think he's in training now, but you'll get a lot of tips when you're just kind of pick them up along the way. But if you are preparing for training, and you're in training and you got some tips and you're looking for more, you pick these up along the way. So I would get good shoes. You're on a protection detail. Sometimes it could be 8 hours, usually not, or it could be these 16 hours. And you need to have some good shoes, not just with good soles, but with good, where it's good around your ankles. You don't want to walk around with blisters. It's happened to me many times. I'm sure it's happened to every DS agent that's out there. So get yourself some good shoes. I would recommend rubber soles as well. Sometimes you have these shoes without the rubber soles and you get on these sidewalks. If it's kind of wet out, you'll slip. I've seen people slip and it's pretty embarrassing. So, rubber soles with good cushion would be great. Even if you have back issues, get some type of orthotics too. Get yourself a larger suit than usual. So you can get the pants however you feel. But get a jacket that's a little bigger. You want to be able to hide your sidearm well, or conceal your sidearm well, your mags, whatever else you're carrying, maybe your cuffs and your radio. And back when I was in, the radios were still big block radios. So you want to get a suit jacket that's a little bigger. Nothing fancy. Conservative suit is what you're looking for. You don't want to stand out. You want to they use the term blend in. You're not blending in when you're 12 suits walking around, or 8 suits, whatever. You do want to wear a conservative suit, and I would recommend getting a jacket that's bigger. I also wouldn't recommend spending a lot of money on a protection suit. So, you go overseas, you can get some really nice suits made for you, Italian, fabric, that are fitted, and you go to these diplomatic parties and it's fun and you can dress real nice. I think that's cool, but don't use those suits on your protection details. I would just go get one from, you name it, wherever, Joseph A. Bank, Men's Warehouse, or I don't know where ladies go, maybe I don't know, wherever you guys find suits, but still, you can wear a suit with this bigger. And the reason I say don't spend a lot of money on it is because you get torn up. The lining on the inside gets really torn up. One recommendation is you can have them to double stitch the lining. And the second recommendation is on the suit is double stitch your belt loops, because all that gear is going to be hanging from your belt and your belt, which is my next tip, I believe, is get a nice thick belt. But when it's hanging, it's pulling down on those belt loops, and it'll tear. So when you get your suit, fitted. Now again, I don't want it to be a fitted suit. When you get it to where it actually feels right for protection detail, so a little bigger jacket and the pants however you want them, they're not too long or baggy, then have them double stitch the belt loops, and that'll help you in the future, so you don't have to spend a lot of time repairing suits. What else? Thick, strong belt, just mentioned that. Reinforce the stitching, just mentioned. Suspenders were a lifesaver for me. I started late with suspenders. People mentioned it to me. I just was hard-headed. I didn't get them till towards the end, and they are a lifesaver. There are some suspenders out there that are quote unquote tactical suspenders. They're just made for law enforcement for these types of issues. But you know, they'll go into your suit jacket, they pull up tight, it'll give you a lot of relief on your back. And when you're working these 12, 16-hour details, having that relief on your lower back will help. I have bad back issues. That's one of the reasons I've been gone for so long. I just had a second back surgery. And so really take into account the value of a good set of suspenders. And usually you got to get a thicker set to be able to hold all that gear up. With that said, suspenders are hot. So you may not think that just an inch and a half on either side is hot. It makes a difference. So if you're going to be, you know, in New York in the summer, it'll be hot and humid, and that those suspenders might not feel so good. But it depends, right? It's give and take. It depends what's more important to you. You feeling that back pain or getting a little sweaty. So, but suspenders are good. Get yourself a good earpiece. DS issues. Back then, they issued two types. It was just a basic rubber one that you see all the time with the little kind of coil back here. And then they issued one that you could mold to your ear. Those of us that are hard-headed and have no patience didn't take the time to use that one. It might be a good one. I don't know. And then I throughout my 10-year career, I saw guys trying different things. I ended up trying a type, and I don't know the brand. I can, if someone's really interested, just write a message here and I'll try to look it up. But it's basically two small wires that came in the back, and they both hooked into both ears. But the idea, the theory behind it is that it sits, it kind of floats in your ear. I thought it was good for ear relief, and I didn't need to take it out to listen to people. And I like those a good bit, and they were pretty discreet if you get up close. But it was a real small wire. There's no coil, and if someone's interested, just type in the comments, you know, you want to know, and I'll try to do some research and find which one it was. But I saw a few guys moving to that whenever I was in, and I thought it was pretty good. I used it for my last several protection details here in California. Tips for the interview. You know, I'm always hesitant to give these out too much, only because, well, one, it's been forever, so I don't want to give you some bad intel. But two, you know, I signed that non-disclosure agreement. I guess I'm a rule follower, and I don't want to say too much of what I know. But you know, if you can follow these right here, you're off to the right start. So it's basic stuff. Excuse me. Timeliness. Show up. Right. Show up early. That's it. Show up early. Carry something. I always carry some type of portfolio, whether it's just got a pen and paper or nothing in it. But I usually carry a few copies of your resume. I doubt that they'll even ask you for, but it just really looks professional when you show up with a pen and a paper and something in your hand. You never know. They might be sitting there and say, oh, you know, give me an extra copy of your resume. I don't know. So I would have your resume printed and carry something. They may say when you get there, put everything aside, but show up with it. Everything's a test. Remember, when you get there, you meet the people. Everything's a test. It may not be maybe not the first person you shake hands with that escorts you in, but maybe so. It just depends, right? So you want to look and act the part. Show up on time. Have something in your hand. If you're clean shaven, be clean shaven all the way. If you have a beard, have it nice and trimmed. For guys, of course, if you're gonna shave your neck, shave it the night before. Don't show up with spotty neck stains. There's nothing worse than interviewing someone who's squared away and they have spotty neck stains. I don't know why. I mean, that's a pet peeve of mine. But so shave your neck the night before. And these are mostly tips for guys. I'm sorry, I'm not a girl. But the showing up, timeliness, carrying something that obviously applies to everyone. Conservative suit and socks. You know, times are changing. This might have been a little different back then, but I know in protection details, they still preach wear a conservative suit. By conservative, I just mean not something flashy, just kind of a darker colored suit. You can probably wear a light colored suit too in an interview, but you don't want to stand out too much. You want to kind of come in. You want to stand out basically on your skill set, your interpersonal skills, not be the peacock in the room when you step into these interviews. So I would recommend a conservative suit, conservative socks, no skinny ties, no skinny pants. I mean, you can do it, but I know some of the dudes that interview, dudes and girls, and you know, it's kind of that mentality that we're taught all the way up is that you dress professionally, and professionally is more conservative style. This is not a political ideology or anything. This is just the type of dress that I recommend if you're going to go in this. And I've had helped several people get through these successfully. So practice talking out loud. I still do this when I interview for different things. But practice talking out loud. Give yourself, there's those the 12, it might be more, 12 or whatever skills they look at, and they're going to ask you questions based on that. So dig deep into your memory and think of things that you can apply to, I don't know, communication skills or budgeting or something like that. Think about it and then talk out loud about it. Articulate yourself about it, right? It doesn't make any sense. So, and when you hear yourself speak, I guarantee you're going to be, oh, well, that sounds bad. Well, that sounds good. So you need to practice this. Don't overlook it. I'm telling you right now, I've tried before not doing it, and I'll be good. And then you go in and you really bomb it. And so practice speaking out loud. I'm telling you, you're going to thank me for that tip. Be thorough in your answers. Don't be shy. They ask you they ask you a question. Be thorough. Now, I'm not saying just start going on a tangent and go off topic, but be thorough in your answers. Some people like being clear, succinct, concise. That's fine too, but make sure you get everything you want said. Everyone speaks differently. I think when you talk more, but when you explain yourself and maybe even the thinking behind it, if you read my book, people have said this has helped them in the interviews because I explain my thinking behind what I did. And in some cases in these interviews, this might help. So they'll stop you if you go too far. Don't go off topic. But again, be thorough in your answers. Get to the point that you need, that you want to get to. And I think by doing that, it also shows them your communication skills. It shows your ability to, your interpersonal skills, because you might be telling a story, give an example, and kind of have some humor in it. I know I didn't try to be funny, but I used some humorous situations in my interview, and they loved it. They laughed, and they tried to hold back laughing, but I could see them laughing. And when you feel that, like they're eating it up, it's a good feeling. So just be yourself, but don't minimize your skill set or your answer because you think you're going too far. Get what you need to get out, and don't worry about going over the top. As long as you're staying on topic, you'll be fine. Sir or ma'am. I am from the South. I'm a military guy. I say sir or ma'am a lot, just about to everyone. People more senior to me in age and or position, and people less younger than me on occasion. It's just a kind of a habit. But if you don't say it, it can probably be difficult for that to roll off your tongue as easy as it might be for some of us. So you don't have to, but I put here, a sir or ma'am never hurt anyone, right? So if you're responding to a group of people and there's some agents in there or some senior, especially senior individuals, senior in life, maybe someone who's been in the department for many years, throw in a sir or ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Hey, that's going to go a long way. I'm telling you right now, it's going to go a long way, because the government's still, no matter who's in power, there's still some conservative in their interviewing and approach, and respect and professionalism approach is still, I think, moderately conservative. So something to think about. Don't be humble. Don't be arrogant, right? Clear as mud. Find that balance. My first two interviews, I got this advice from a buddy. My first two interviews, I'll tell you, for those of you that read the book or actually watched my videos or listened to the podcast, it took me 3 tries to get in over a 4-year period. And I went in and I was too humble. And I've never really been accused of being too humble, but when it comes to times like this, I didn't want to feel like I was exaggerating or anything. But you also need to be confident in what you've done in life, even if you think, well, compared to this person, it's nothing. Don't worry about that person. Worry about you and what you did at that time, and how it impacted you. If you, and I use military analogies a lot, but if you were, a corporal in the Marine Corps in a line platoon, and you were, the senior corporal, senior squad leader, and the CO and your platoon sergeant are gone, so you were the platoon sergeant for a week or 2 weeks or whatever, not the CO, the platoon commander, excuse me, that articulate that when they say, well, how many leadership roles have you had? Well, you don't have to say, well, I was only this for 2 weeks. No, say, well, I was acting platoon sergeant at this time. We ran these training iterations. I made sure that, everybody was fed and and was safe and were well trained, boom, 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 go down the line. So don't minimize your experience. Now they're gonna know if you're lying, if you're making some BS up, but don't minimize it. Budgeting, there's a lot of people that come in, younger folks that don't have experience in budgeting, and there's usually always, at least there used to be, a budgeting question, like how much money have you handled or budgeted or whatever. And it doesn't need to be exorbitant amount. It can be your own personal budget. And when you were planning to do this, but you had to allocate funds for this, I would try to find something professional. But if you don't lie about it. Make something up and not make, sorry, that's the wrong term. Find something and expand on it. But definitely don't make something up. But yeah, don't be humble and don't be arrogant. And so again, that's very clear. So, but I think there's a balance there, and you need to find it. But if you do your research and you understand what they're looking for, what they're asking for, then I think you'll be fine. And I've had people email me that are worried about their work experience, their life experience, and they're 30 years old and they've only done this or they've only done that. They've only been in finance and they've been an attorney. It's like, listen, man, people, you can have hobbies where you might have taken a leadership role, when you were kayaking down the river and there were people that appeared to be drowning. I don't know, you can, like I said, don't make it up, but you can find things that you've done to expand on some of these questions that they may ask. So that would be my tips for the interview. So we're at 21 minutes. That's about all I got for questions. I will talk a little bit because I haven't done it in a while about some things. Got the book, my book here. If you haven't seen it, Agents Unknown, True Stories of Life of Special Agents of Diplomatic Security Service. It's got about 146 reviews, mostly 5-star online. It's doing really well. It's an easy read. If you are preparing for the BECS or for the interview, I have been told, and the reviews that say it, that it helped them prepare. They read it a few times before. It's an easy read, so it's not hard to read it a few times. But check it out. It's on Amazon. If you buy it directly from me, you'll also get a sticker, a patch, or maybe both. Depends how generous I'm feeling. So you can buy it from me, CodyPerron.com, CodyPerron.com/shop, and buy it there. Got a couple other things. I still have some shirts. I haven't promoted this shirt too much. It's the Getting You Off the X shirt, but the Off the X that's the logo on the front, but it's a skull drag, basically pulling this guy off the X. So that one I got plenty in stock. Nice thick material. It's good to go. We still got Knuckle Draggers Unlimited. Do work and chill. A lot of nuance to this one here. It's Saddam's chair. Is the call it contracted casual with the chucks and the plaid shirt. You got some rippets down here. You got some beer over there. And there's a lot of detail in this shirt. It is just black and white. That's how I did it. I'm not the most skilled at this, but I think it's a pretty cool shirt. So get it. This one's on discount. I have very few left. I'm just ready to knock them out. Hoodies. I still got a lot of hoodies. These have been the most popular. This design and the hoodies themselves have still been the most popular. And it's a high threat protection, getting you off the X. They are discounted as well. Although the hoodies, it's hot right now. I get it, but they're available. I don't have many shirts left. There's maybe a few mediums and smalls left in that design. But again, CodyPerron.com/shop, and that'll get you everything you need. Patches and stuff. Let's see here. I got some. I should have been prepared for this, I suppose. Stickers come with it, and then I have a patch here that also comes with it. Yeah, I'm wearing shorts. Off the X patch. Stick it on your hat, stick it on your wall. But anyway, so yeah, you buy the book, you'll get a couple of these. We have some hat patch sticker options as well. Try to put some stuff out there. Eventually I want to put a hat out there, but life is busy. So, all right, it's been a while since I put everything out. I will try to be better at this. I'm always available on the back end, so you can email me, info@CodyPerron.com. Hit me up on Instagram, Facebook. At Facebook, I'm still under Agents Unknown, but on Instagram, I'm _Inc. Or you can go to You can go to CodyPerron.com and find all my social media there. So, thanks as always. Thanks for the support, and let me know if you got any questions. Thanks, y'all. Out.